Hey, welcome to SAB Chronicles, aka the COVID Chronicles. We're going to dive deep into the teachings of a few of our CEO Action Pod groups spanning from 2020 all the way to 2024. This series takes us through the fire of COVID to post COVID, and now who really gives a care about COVID? If you listen to this series, you're going to gain inside knowledge of strategies of the past and strategies of the future. Hold on to your seats as you're about to get a PhD in business. Buckle up and let's get rolling. Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
David, are you on?
I am here. I tell you what, I guess I love and hate to be a broken record at the same time. But I mean, when it comes to challenges, I've been racking my brain, and in all honesty, the only challenge that I have right now is going to fix itself. And that's simply a dip in revenue. Because, beginning in November, I completely took my foot off the gas when it comes to sales, and completely put my foot onto the gas when it comes down to being a service for the industry, a service for the people doing the sales. And I mean, the pedal's on the floor, but it's in neutral until January 1st. Which, obviously the dip in revenue is not a positive aspect, but at the same time, it has and is still currently giving me a lot of time to put everything together when it comes to administering the services that I'm going to be doing. Putting SOPs together for myself, everybody that's going to be involved in the process, putting canned emails together to the point where everything is going to be really slick, really streamlined, and making sure that every aspect of my obligation on the administrative and the business setup side is getting completed properly in a timely fashion. So that way those people that are going out there to sell water can get into the revenue generating activities as quick as humanly possible. Then in turn, helping a lot of people and making a lot of money for everybody involved in the process. So, I mean, challenges, hurdles, I mean, not really, to be honest. It's waiting to drop it into drive on January 1st and watch things take off.
You'd have far more challenges right now if you were still in the B2C model.
Oh yeah, I'd be beating my head against the wall.
Right. So luckily, the way this was really architect, right? How we really took the time to architect it out correctly. It's kind of a headache-free setup in a lot of ways, which lucky you, dude. Not everybody gets that. But who knows? Challenges may come up later. I mean, I doubt it, but it's a pretty set and forget system, and it's pretty sweet for sure. And I can't wait to see it play out.
Yep, I'm very, very grateful, and I tell you what, I'm excited to see where we're sitting, second quarter.
Yeah.
Probably end of second quarter next year. Really excited to see where we're sitting.
Yeah, I already know where you're going to be sitting. I'm the Great Kreskin.
Do you picture me in the mountains? That's where I picture me.
You already got the beard, so it's good to go.
That's right. Playing it out ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're slacking over there, Jay.
Yeah, well, hey.
Well, he started growing a beard, so I figured I got to let mine get a little longer.
I was trying
a beard. I say get a cat and rub some milk on it. It'll be gone in no time.
I was trying to keep up with David, and then my wife told me it was getting too long. I was going to grow it out and be a mountain man.
It doesn't tickle anymore. Cut it.
That's great. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, David. And, again, any inputs on things along the way, reach out to the group because, there's always things that happen along the way. But for sure. Mike, are you on still? Mike Rogers, I know you're here. Or are you just not listening? Okay, we'll come back. Matt.
Bueller, Ferris, Bueller.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, honestly, the only challenge I'm having, and this is probably because I just got back yesterday from being 8 days in the Dominican Republic, so my viewpoint on challenges is pretty minimal. But really, the only challenge I'm having is taking action, really finishing up. I gotta, for my book, it's done. I have to do a final review of it, just grammatically going over it. I'm only a quarter of the way through. As soon as that's done, I get to publish. But I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be a great way to start the year off with publishing. So instead of trying to rush and do a Christmas, launch, I think I'm going to start mid-January and start the year off, as a published author and, doing all that. So what I'm doing between now and, the first Monday in January is just positioning myself, getting everything together. The previous challenge I had was getting everything moved over so that way my guy could manage everything and take stuff off my plate. And I successfully did that before I went on vacation. So I'm really just focusing on positioning myself to build my brand. This morning I was spending a little time figuring out my content strategy, what my funnel is going to be and all that other stuff. And so my goal is to have all of that in place. So that way, January, I think it's January 3rd, I think is Monday. I can launch and just start promoting that and make that this is my big pivot for the year. So that's pretty much what I'm working on.
What's the title of your book?
So I have a couple working title names. So one is The Power of Productivity. The other one is Productivity Secrets for Solopreneurs. And those are the two that I'm kind of going back and forth. But I want something, that's another thing that's been holding me back, because I want something that's real, powerful.
Lightning.
That sounds, that sounds more like mystical or something. People read these titles and they're like, ooh, if I'm going to read this book, I'm going to have all these mystical productivity powers. That's what I'm trying to go for. I haven't come up with something.
Power that will transform your life.
Well, how about mystical productivity powers?
There you go. By the Great Kreskin.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power. Yeah, something down.
In quotations. In quotations, your name. Great Kreskin, quotations. Mataponte.
Hey, pseudonyms count. Pseudonyms count.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, I mean, so Matt launched this new program, and you got what, 3 clients in that already?
Yeah, and I'm actually signing up another one the 21st.
Yeah, and we're not talking about like $500 clients. We're talking about 5 and 10K clients. So these aren't small clients. So to be able to put something together, execute it, or put the program together itself, put the marketing together for it, launch all that in a short amount of time, that's impressive, my friend. And good on you for doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. So I've been able to just kind of like what I was able to do is I saved up 3 months of bills. So this way I can focus 100%, even if I have a lull. I've already paid off all of our bills for the first 3 months of January. So this way I have zero stress, zero anything to worry about. And if there's any dips or any backlash or anything, I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going hard January 3rd. It's an all or nothing thing for me. So I'm really excited about it.
Right. Yeah. And, like I'll have licensees that'll be able to plug into you. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll have licensees for, cause I'm kind of going to take some of those pieces we just have to figure out how to facilitate that. So it's like, everybody kind of has their own little strength, right? So we can figure out how to pull that all in and then package that up to service the licensees. And maybe it's for you create marketing plans for their companies, and then Robert fulfills the marketing plan or whatever, right? We rotate that around within the group. So, that's the kind of level of stuff I want to put into place to service that, because that just grows everybody, right?
I have a platform I can recommend.
I do too. What platform do you think we're going to use?
Oh, that's cold. That's just cold. Never mind. I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, because just so you guys know, I'm looking to position myself kind of like, I can't take credit for it's Jason's model, really, just with a different spin on it from the marketing consulting side. But I plan on positioning myself as strictly the consultant, zero fulfillment. So I will be looking to set up, affiliate, JV, referral, whatever, because I just kind of want to stick and do what I love to do. And that's obviously talk.
No.
So for the record, I don't turn down anything but collars and low paying contracts. Those are the only 2 things I turn down.
Oh boy. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I look forward to seeing that book though, for sure. Robert, you're up, buddy.
Are you doing a pre-order on that book, Matt?
No, I'm going to use the publishing platform that Jason suggested. And what I'm doing is I have about 5 people lined up through Fiverr, and I'm planning like a book tour on radio stations and podcasts to do that. And I'm literally just going to make it to where they can go, how they do that kind of like free shipping type thing. So what I'm doing is the upsell is going to be the audio book. So they'll be able to buy the book for like $9. But the upsell is the audio version, which will be for like $19. That's how I plan my funnel.
Consider a video course with it, because then that could be the upsell on the upsell, complete with workbook. And it wouldn't be much more effort. You know what I mean? Most of that you can do right on your own computer, and then just get the sound mastered and whatnot. But that builds out a whole nother layer to the value chain on that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I do have, I've been working with trying to keep this short for a year. Actually, I've been working with an audio producer, and we've been working on, and this ties right into productivity of creating certain types of isochronic tones that help with focus and productivity. And so we actually have our own products now. I just had a designer create the whole, what do you want to call it? It's like a CD cover, but it's obviously not a CD cover.
Gotcha.
And we're selling a package of 5 audios specifically designed for certain types of level of focus and productivity. And we have some case studies that we've worked on. People have used them, really good feedback. So that's actually going to be the upsell for that, which ties perfectly into the book. So
Are you going to throw a guided meditation in there as well? Because those are huge right now.
Yeah, they are huge. That's something that we plan on doing down the road, because I am into that. But I have to, I'm trying to keep this more entrepreneurial, like focused for people that just kind of want to up their game and kick ass and grow their business. So that's the focus where we're at now. And then the big upsell is a free consultation with me. And then if they fit the program and it makes sense, I can pull them on a one-on-one consultation and help them grow their business. So that's my value ladder.
So my biggest challenge is I'm surrounded by so many geniuses that constantly show me just how short I am in that field. You guys, I swear, every time I come to these meetings, I leave with a migraine thinking.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It should be taken, because I don't run into that frequently. Biggest challenges. Right now, I have a lead gen contract that's just a severe pain in my ass that it's not converting. And I've played with the messaging. There's some components that I know that it's lacking, but the components that it's lacking, like a dedicated landing page, a lead magnet, these aren't components that should be impacting the conversion rates to the extent that they are, especially all across the field, from connection to the final end conversion. Just all the conversion rates are horrible. And so I'm going back to the drawing board on that. And one is everybody. So when this has been front and center for me, is this lead generation contract, because I kind of like the guy that I'm doing it for a little bit. And but so I spent a lot of time thinking about it. And there's a few components that I see on this. One is it's geared towards the home service industry, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing specifically, because they tend to have the higher ticket prices. They're high cash businesses. And one of the problems that I see with that is right now, those are feast or famine industries, right? There tends to be no middle ground on those. And right now, home services in general, especially in HVAC, are up an average of 20 to 30% in sales from last year. And so they're feasting. And one thing about the home service, what I'm concerned with is one thing that I find with the home services demographic is, one, they're stubborn as fuck. They're stubborn as hell, and so pushing them through to new things, to change, is a challenge to begin with. I mean, that's one of the reasons why so large a share of that industry are behind on the digital transformation, right? 2 is, if they're not hungry, they're not hungry. They don't want to hear it. And 3 is they're also experiencing a significant problem with the labor side of things, right? There's not a lot of skilled labor out of there. It was something they were already facing before the spike in sales. They also have some headwind on the manufacturing side. They're starting to run into a lot more problem with getting fulfillment on the components and things like that. So there's a lot of things that I'm running into with that. Then on top of which, everybody and their brother right now is offering a lead gen package, even if it's a sales call generation package, That's a little bit of a USP because in most cases they're just trying to pass leads through, qualified leads, and the term qualified is very subjective, I find, with a lot of these companies. But so while the sales call is a USP on this, what I'm worried about is the market is just facing fatigue from all of the various approaches for lead gen. Two, that they are feasting currently, and I'm sorry, I'm dealing with my mascot. She's a daddy's girl, so she's always driving me crazy. But the other side of this is like I said, right now they're feasting. And so what I do anticipate within the next couple of months is for them to be hungry again. Now, the problem is that's probably going to coincide when we're running into the deepest economic impacts of this current spike in COVID cases and what that's going to look like for the business environment. I mean, there's more shutdowns coming. There's more markets that are going to restrict. There's a lot of changes on the horizon. And right now, if you just happen to be a masochist and want to sign on for migraine, sign up for the digital marketing arena, because I mean, take your pick. We got a class action against Google. We got a class action against Facebook. We got just turmoil all across the industry, and there's no real way of telling which way it's going to hash out. So that's one of my challenges, is figuring out this lead gen contract.
Rob,
yeah.
You just actually said, you actually just solved your own problem in what you said.
Okay, I'm listening.
So
change, get out of digital marketing.
No, that's not. So what do we have? We have all these. I'm not talking about restaurants and all that stuff. Here's the example I'll use. What's that little? You go in that store and it's got all that weird shit in it, like part of the store. Spencer's, right? So you take a Spencer's, right? A Spencer's does a shitload online, right? But they're also a brick and mortar, right?
They're going out of business in a lot of malls right now.
I'm not saying we target Spencer's. What I'm saying is we target businesses that make sense, that are e-com and brick and mortar, and refocus them to e-com, because that's where the fucking money is right now.
That is definitely on the table of considerations. The only challenge that I have with that consideration is right now, like I said, I have a 550 active group, engaged active participant group, completely centered around HVAC. I also have a personal engagement pod, completely centered around HVAC and supportive services. What I'm steering towards is maybe look at some of the supportive services that should be capitalizing off an increase in the HVAC market, just from the overflow and the side flows of that industry, and maybe picking out 2 or 3 support services and that, and focus on them, because and this is something that I'm arguing with myself significantly. It took a while to build up an active group of 550 people around this industry. It's on LinkedIn, so it's on a business, a completely business geared platform. And most LinkedIn groups aren't engaged. So the fact that I got a group that's actually engaging, I hate to try to split attention away from that to go in a different direction. But it's starting to get to the point that I think that's going to be the only option.
What's the definition of insanity?
Yes, to do the same thing over and over again, but it's also inches that usually separate winners from losers. You know what I mean? So it might not be a complete 180-degree pivot. It might be a change in the approach, or a change in the initial focus product. Like, instead of focusing on a lead generation campaign, I liked your idea of going into it with a marketing strategy, laying out a marketing strategy for the company, and then offering fulfillment on the back end, which then opens up all type of upsell opportunities. So that's actually, versus changing fields, changing industries, I'm actually looking at changing the initial entry product focus on that. I think that just because I have all these resources in this industry and maybe I haven't maximized my opportunity to monetize them yet. But I mean, a 550 person group, while that's not 22,000, that's not, it's not influencer level just yet. It's got the momentum behind it. And I've got some core members of that group that really have an affinity for me, that are really engaged in the group. So it's me trying to figure out how not to just walk away from an asset, but figure out how to better utilize that asset in conjunction with what I have on the table now. Does that make sense?
If can I add a point real quick? Is maybe that group is you don't walk away from it, but that doesn't mean that you can't refocus on the ones who are looking at the e-com or a different silo to create that. Because I mean, if a group is not producing, I mean, Jason's right in the sense that we can't just keep doing the same thing time and time again and expect different results. Not to say that you should abandon that group, but maybe looking at a different silo is not unrealistic.
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus, what I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
Well, and so thank you for taking the bait, Joe, because I think you. So what I'm looking at potentially is starting another group based around something like local manic marketing support group or something like that, where you're targeting local businesses or specific, having a broader range of industries more focused on the topic of marketing assistance that can be built out as an authority platform, and then utilize that for a recruitment platform as well.
Yeah, and just so as far as taking the bait, I don't eat sushi. So
here's the thought. So here's the thought for you. So instead of beating your head up against the wall, what's the first thing we always try to do in marketing? Go for the low-hanging fucking fruit, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it. You go for the low-hanging fruit first. That's what we try to go for. Gents, I know I run an agency just like all of you do. So I know the pinpoints and the push points. So, what do? We go for the low-hanging fruit. This is it right now. I know agencies that are just fucking killing it right now.
Yeah.
And why? This is such an easy group to target.
It is.
Because right now they're just hungry. They're like, holy shit, can you be my Jesus Christ? Well, yes, I can. Right? And now they've never put a lot of influence here. Right? So now, yeah, they got a store, they got all that shit. They're doing $20,000, $30,000 a month on it. Their bread and butter's always been here in the brick and mortar. Not there now. Now you offer them a strategic marketing plan that gives them the ability to switch here to now replace this income completely. This is just strategy. That's all this is.
So, Joel, what do you think about that, Joel? Is pivoting to putting together a collaborative group based around brick and mortars that are needing to transform to e-com, based around giving them marketing and business advice within the group, and then use that as the basis for a recruitment funnel. How do you like that?
Yeah, see, I love the marriage of those two, right? Because I agree that growth and marketing strategy or marketing planning is going to be a huge area. And so you take, then like Jason said, you take these brick and mortars who are dying on the vine on their retail spots. They are desperate to convert into e-com traffic. I think it's a home run. I think it's a win.
So, and for everybody, I'm sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I just want to interject because I'm actually dealing with something very similar with one of my clients. They're in Canada, and they actually own a store, a very nice storefront, and they provide like hospital beds, scooters, stair lifts, stuff like that for the elderly. And I've actually consulted him on doing a hybrid, selling the products online, so that way people can go and order. His manufacturers ship directly to them, and then he has one of his guys show up and install it. So it's kind of like a merge of the two. Yeah, and that was one of the big things he wanted to figure out how to do, which I helped him with. So I think there's a huge thing there. The second thing also is have you thought about reputation marketing and reputation management is huge for especially HVAC, because they're horrible at that.
They're horrible at that. It's a good entry point, but once again, they're generally horrible at that for a reason. And because that was one of the initial products that I went into this, was offering citation, site building, and reputation management, review acquisition, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And so now I will say that at that time they were a lot hungrier. They were looking for more active marketing measures, not more passive measures like, reputation management. But there wasn't a lot of bite on that. Now, with them so hungry and with them doing so much of a higher volume of work, that actually might be a good lead in, because, hey, have you been capturing testimonials from all these extra clients that you've taken on? X in your market right now has 100 and X number of reviews. You're sitting on 20 something. Who do you think the customers are going to go to? So that's another process. I will say that I am edging more towards this and more in a two-phase approach. Let me give you a general rundown of your marketing outline, where you're at and where we would recommend you to focus your efforts on, and then lead that into, well, since we've done that, would you like us to do a complete marketing strategy and market and competitor research report for you? We'll split test that between just going into, here are the areas we recommend you focus on. Would you like us to put together a plan, a prioritized plan on how to meet that over the next year? That might be that's more of the area that I'm leaning to, but I do like that. I think that reputation management hook might have some legs on it as well.
The pain point though there is taking a brick and mortar into e-com. That's the pain point right there.
Yeah, can I add something to that, Jason? Yeah. So I agree with you 100% in that, in the sense that, okay, let's get past COVID, right? That's a pain point right now because they don't have any business. But let's get past COVID, and I always like looking at longer-term trends. When companies realize that going remote saves them all kinds of overhead and increases productivity because there's no drive time, there's no this and that, people go straight to work, as long as you can manage that, then there's a solid business reason for them to switch from brick and mortar to e-com. And I think that there's probably a longer term strategic initiative that we can drive past just this COVID response.
There are literally companies right here in, and Matt, you've probably seen this too, companies right here in Boulder that had 30,000 square foot buildings, they're abandoned.
Yeah, they're walking away. Yeah.
They're walking away from them completely, and they'll never go back.
As a group for the agencies on here, one of the things that I'd like to throw out there is, what do you guys think about putting together a collaborative business and marketing course with each of us focused on the components that we're more fluent with, to put out there? I mean, I think that has a potential not only for upfront income, but then also as a back-end recruitment tool for our various disciplines.
Yeah, I love that idea because I think it has significance in the world, and it's a USP, right? It's something to say, hey, you know what? We don't just help you get over moving from e-com or from brick and mortar to e-com. We recommend it, and here's why. Yeah,
and that I've been on a big content creation push, and one of the pieces that I'm focused on right now is that businesses are missing the mark in their messaging. Right, that one of the biggest components of marketing is psychology, And businesses are putting out marketing pieces like it's just every other year in the world.
Yeah.
And that's not, they're ignoring the fact of the level of pain and anxiety and fear that audiences, I don't care what industry you're in, there is at least a significant portion of your audience, of your target audience, that are hurting right now. And businesses are just putting out messaging like it's every other day. And so if you're trying to get somebody to know, like, and trust your brand while they're losing family members, while their business, while where they were working at is shut down or their business is shut down, they can't make that pivot. And so if you don't have that bridge where you wrap them into a community, where you wrap them in and make them feel like they're really connected to your brand and your brand really cares, you're not going to make any sales. So when people are wondering why gated content conversions are down, while click-through rates are down, while conversion rates are down, it's because people are hurting and nobody's paying attention to the psychology before that, right? Mm-hmm. The know, like, and trust is based on the assumption that everybody's reptile needs are met, that they're secure, that they feel like there's opportunity for growth, that they feel like they belong. And right now, all bets are off the table between the political polarization and the human capital cost and the business capital cost. And industries are just missing this. I watch Thanksgiving commercials where they're showing a whole group of people sitting down at the table. That's not tone deaf. I don't know what the fuck is. And and what businesses don't matter if you're not congruent, if you're not putting through a congruent psychological and emotional message, because sales are emotional. No matter how we justify them on the back end with logic, it starts with emotion.
But was the turkey wearing a mask?
No. The person was wearing a turkey in one of them, though. I thought that one kind of came close.
Just to back up and pull all this back in, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is this is that's my solution.
Yeah.
That's right there.
I do like going down that road because it makes sense not only now, short term, midterm, it also makes sense long term.
Well, I think that's going to be a primary focus for at least the next 2-3 years, right?
Yeah, so I'm wondering if your client Robert would go for that. I mean, sounds kind of like a jerk, but
he can kind of be a hard ass, but he usually signs the checks pretty easily, so we'll see. If anybody's wondering, he's the lead gen contract right now. That's in my head.
No, I think it's a great idea. And your question earlier about value or training or whatever, bringing that, I really think that because of COVID, there's a much bigger market for that for the small to medium sized business owner right now. Because they're having to make big changes. They don't know what to do. They're afraid to invest big money into a marketing firm to hand that over. They want to keep that and they want to learn how to do it. And if you can empower them, they'll just continue to pay, and giving them value and teach them. And I think there's a huge market.
Yeah, and they're begging, to Jason's point, they're begging from agencies to help them. Because they don't have any place to turn. Nobody's doing this that I know of. So I love the idea.
So we're going to start having to get some appointments on the book to start planning this out then, Joel.
Yep, agreed. I think anybody who's interested in this.
Yeah, exactly. Or anyone else that's interested in participating.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'd definitely be down to be part of the conversation.
Or even participating in being a co-collaborator on the authority platform on LinkedIn. I think, right now that's a number one priority for businesses is LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're shooting yourself in the foot, I think.
I got to tell you, Nancy's got that shit dialed in.
It's a gold mine. It really is. If you get your audience and messaging dialed in and your product, your offer.
It is amazing. We put some very simple messaging together, and that's all I don't really know all the back end of it, what she does, but it's, literally just, it's like every probably 2 or 3 hours, somebody's booking on my calendar. Boom, boom, boom. It's amazing. I don't know.
It makes that noise every single time.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Okay.
I would turn that notification off. That would irritate me. Fuck, I can't stand the background icons popping up.
Awesome. Hey, Mike, are you on? You're the last of the Mohicans, if you're on. I mean, you're here, but
He might have stayed on and fell asleep.
Drooling on the keyboard.
Mike,
Or chasing the kids around.
Yeah.
Mike. I don't know. Who knows? Hard to say. Anyway, all right. So here's the bad news. I forgot to record the first part.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm glad I
You
was
missed
here.
all that nugget. I was depending on this replay, damn it.
So what I'll do is, well, I'll redo the front part. All the
Reconstruct.
Oh,
the front part.
Just your presentation portion? No.
Yeah, that sucked anyway. Right?
Bunch of check boxes. But just send us the list, Jay.
All right. Oh, hey, that's all I got. Unless somebody's got any more input.
Yeah, I have only one more thing to say.
What do you
Just
got?
one. I hope everybody has a really Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Right. Hey, let's make 2021 a big, big, big push year to
Yep.
really leverage each other in this group. Some of you have been doing a really good job of it, others not so much. So use this as a platform to really help each other, because guess what? Everybody together in this platform, how we are right
Yep.
now, everybody's got just brain trusts of information that we can put together. That's 1,000 different things. I mean, holy crap, my brain goes wild every night thinking about it. So, just think about those things that we can all come together in little pockets and do things, and that creates revenue for everybody, and everybody gets a win. Or, how do we, David's like the fucking unicorn of this group, but but how do we plug Artie in? How do we take Artie, pull him in, and really launch a product to where it's super successful? It's not crazy expensive out the gate. Margins don't get chewed up like crazy. Everybody gets to win. Okay. So it's not just about the agencies. It's about everybody in this group being able to come together and help each other. We got a huge problem to solve for Artie. It's a huge problem to solve.
Are you going to set up a meeting, Artie?
I already put a message on Slack whenever, because I know we're on different time zones and stuff like that. So, yeah, so just, what's most flexible. I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning, I'll do it. So it doesn't matter.
I don't do 2:00 in the morning. Sorry, dude.
I love you, Artie, but no, I don't let you.
Well, you're West Coast, so it'll be like really late for me.
My wife has gotten elbowed for tapping me on the shoulder at 2 a.m. after I'm asleep.
Yeah, I think there's a time slot during the day that we can all figure out.
I'm pretty sure.
So, but I say we take the Marine Corps approach, right? We just find the nearest Army grunt, strap a saddle on their ass, and ride them to the finish line.
Hey, there's fucking 2 of us on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, great! I get a stage coach, damn it, 2 horsepower.
Oh,
and one of them's a retired command sergeant major. So,
well, we won't hold that against him. He was enlisted at one point.
The whole time.
Well, touche. Sergeant Major, you didn't quite make that OW that warrant that WO rank, did you? You didn't make it to warrant officer, did you?
No. NCOs who can't succeed at being an NCO become warrant officers.
That's what I told them. They didn't like it too much, though.
We won't fault you for being a Marine.
Well, You know, muscles are required, intelligence not expected. So we already know I'm the dumbest of the group, right?
Well, I hope you get all the most delicious crayons for Christmas.
And the best smelling glue. I mean, I'm in there.
Oh boy, the shit's getting deep.
Save
that-
the watches.
I say that's what we call last call.
Yeah. Well, hey, so much for an hour and 20 minutes.
It was close.
We kind of blew by that again, but
Damn Joel and his fucking.
Yeah. Hey guys,
I see.
I'll definitely hit you up on the Slack because you know, I'm a little behind on that launch, so I'll hit you up.
Perfect.
however we can kind of take Artie, solve those problems, make them work, right? Even the funding stuff, you know, if everybody can kind of digest some of that, because it's not a problem in Massachusetts, it's a problem at scale away from Massachusetts. So if we can solve that funding problem, then it starts to make sense to be able to advertise, to start that sales process. But until we figure that out, it's a dead model at this point.
Well, unless you can make the product sales outpace whatever that funding model would solve, right?
Oh, I don't. I don't think it's solved by that. I don't think it can be solved by that, Joel.
Or you create the education course and throw that in there as an income stream. I mean, that can sustain you until the funding problem gets solved. But if there's any specifics on the funding, Artie, because finances, aren't my specialty, especially that type of financing. So if there's any specifics that I need to be aware, let me know, because I have at least 1,500 financiers on my network in LinkedIn.
All right, so Ed and I will put together the model.
Yeah. Hey, let me throw out on the table, as Jason was saying, why it's not so much of a problem in Massachusetts. It's state driven. Of course, Massachusetts being Massachusetts, you know, they're subsidizing loans and directing utilities, you know, through their state utilities commission to do certain things. So, I mean, that's pretty commonsensical, but just so that's out there on the table, so that when you guys are putting your feelers out and you get your radar up, that approach may not be the solution for every state in the union, but for those that might have similar programs where, you know, we might find financiers that operate under those conditions. So just to have that as background information.
Have you guys done the research on subsidies yet?
Yeah.
You have?
Have we done research on subsidies?
There's actually, I think the University of South Carolina has a, it's called DSIRE, Desire, or something like that. And it's it shows all the different funding for the country. I've been using it for 10 years. The big play here is, reason why Massachusetts works is because the electricity is really expensive. Same thing with California and other parts of the country, right? So that's why the play works, right? In Florida, it's a bill swap. Other parts of the country is going to be a bill swap. So depending on how people feel about renewables, that's the play, right? So you market to that. But
they're heavy here in Florida right now. I know they got a lot of traction here in Florida right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but if subsidies are going to, if subsidies are going to impact the ability to get financing, then I mean, how long are subsidies going to last on solar?
They're going away now. Like they've been, they've been slowly going away. Like next year is going to drop a few points, and then it's going to drop 12 points. So, because at some point our industry is going to stand on its own 2 feet.
I would anticipate actually the subsidies being larger once the new administration is signed in. That's going to be one of their focal points, is the renewable energy.
I don't know how they can be, but maybe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've talked.
You went mute. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, we got to be able to stand on our own 2 feet. They just can't pump us up forever.
Why? The oil industry is still getting $250 million.
Yeah, but the problem is when they subsidize, they put big chunks in. it doesn't filter down to people like me. It
Yeah.
goes to like Harry Reid's kid to build a big solar farm in the desert, right? So it
Hilarious,
doesn't.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It goes to Solyndra, like which is here in Mass, or Evergreen. Those subsidies never really filter down to the rank and file that keep the industry going. Like a lot of them pulled out of Massachusetts because they went broke, right? Because it was so top heavy and they weren't getting the funding. So, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, I just want us to be able to be a viable industry. Not why do we have to be, propped up? We just got to figure it out. And some of it comes to do with the banking. Like the big problem I have is the people that make the most money are the freaking
bankers and lawyers
at 25%. Come on, man, that's crazy.
All right, well, let's get together and have that conversation. I got to bail, so.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Thank you.
Hey, guys, have a good night. Hey, Artie, I'm going to call you real quick, okay?
Okay, you got it.
All right, take care, guys.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win. Thank you for tuning in to the SAB Chronicles, otherwise known as the COVID Chronicles. Hey, we hope you took a lot of great little golden nuggets from this episode. Follow us on social media. Follow us everywhere you can follow us for updates on all of our different series of podcasts, to include this one right here. We hope to see you back as soon as possible. And remember, you should always want to grow, scale, and win. We'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God.